Samyang have appeared to cease production entirely of Canon RF lenses.
Samyang and their lenses. Tell me what they're
well known for producing third-party, slightly cheaper lenses for all the main lens mounts. Loved by a lot of people for that, like Sigma are. They've done really well in the mirrorless market. So the RF mount, since I come up, the Sony Alphas, they have stopped selling all their RF mount lenses. Samyang have appeared to cease production entirely of Canon RF lenses.
How do you know that? You've been on their website, or is that a rumour?
This is news. On their website, no longer RF mount lenses.
Oh.
Canon Rumours, the website, have reported on this and have got in touch with Samyang's customer service department. Firstly, they approached them on Facebook and said, "You don't have any RF lenses on your website. What's up?"
Yeah, come on, bro.
Yeah, gives a hint. What's going on? I want to buy some. Pretending they don't want to buy some. Who does? They replied on Facebook saying, "Due to technical difficulties, we're currently unable to provide these lenses."
Oh, something's happened.
Which wasn't good enough. So they also have made contact with over Instagram, in which the customer service department there replied, "We have stopped producing these lenses. Full stop."
That's interesting.
So Samyang have stopped producing the lenses.
It's disastrous, but interesting.
For us as consumers, it is, because less competition.
And it's the way things are moving with RF. We've recently talked about that.
Everything's going that way.
And they're not going to have an offering.
I'm willing to believe that the issue has come from Canon are releasing rapid firmware updates in like intervals of like 6 weeks or so. You're seeing another firmware update for another range of cameras, and I think that part of that firmware update is killing the AF Samyang lenses, third-party lenses.
Oh,
there's some compatibility issues, like it will only work in no lens mode, so just manual focusing.
Yeah,
which for their manual lenses, no problem, but that's not what people are buying. They're buying the AF.
Yeah, a lot of people like that, don't they?
At very least, the constant firmware updates will be hard for a third-party manufacturer to reverse engineer constantly, and if they do it enough, it will put them off enough to stop doing it, stop selling them.
And then you have to buy the official Canon lens.
You have to buy Canon lenses then.
I mean, never have I been more pushed to avoid it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because, I mean, the writing's on the wall. If that's happening, there will be no budget offering.
Yep.
Which, if you're a brand snob and you just have Canon cameras, Canon lenses,
have to have that red ring.
Yeah, then fair play to you. But for everyone else that has real lives and real budgets, you don't want everything leading brand. And to be honest, well, look at like Sigma's art lens.
Yes.
I'd be quite happy to put a Sigma lens on a Canon camera
every day
and know that I'm going to get a beautiful shot.
Yeah, every time.
So to have, if it is the case where Canon are making it more difficult for those autofocus lenses to work, which would make the most sense.
Yeah.
What a real shame that is. And rather than taking them off the shelf, why don't Samyang just go, only works in manual? And if it works in auto, great.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
Great disclaimer.
But I guess Samyang's point is they've got a range of lenses that are autofocus and a range of lenses that aren't.
Yeah.
And now that becomes ambiguous as to where this autofocus lens, because the autofocus lenses are like twice the price as well. Maybe not exactly, but they're more expensive. So there is talk that it could just be a marketing move, that perhaps Samyang are going to shift their RF lenses into a different brand. They do own a few. The Samyang, Roquignon, and Zine. Zine is cinema lenses, so it's unlikely to be there.
No.
But Roquignon, it could be. So it could just be as simple as like a crossover in how they're branding them.
Well, let's hope that's what it is, because if not, then there's no cheap alternative.
Yes.
Well, so certainly not one from a brand that you would put your faith in.
So third-party lenses, what do we have? Sigma, Tokina, Tamron.
Yeah, I'd say Tamron, yeah.
Samyang. It starts getting thin after that. For autofocus lenses.
Yeah.
Ones that will work electronically. Of course, you could use any lenses manually, and things like even like what Yongnuo have cheap manual lenses for all the mounts. But yes, it will be sad if that's the case. If that is the death of Samyang autofocus lenses for the RF mount, it makes me less, like you said, inclined to buy into Canon RF cameras.
Yeah, and
I want the variety.
On a personal journey, I think the best thing that I've done is been moving from Canon and investing more to Panasonic. I think that was such a good move.
Yeah,
and it's been really enjoyable.
Oh yeah.
I say that with a load of cinema cameras from Canon around.
I was literally just looking like, there's a C100 over there.
Yeah, but even the XC10s, they're all great. But I think what Panasonic have as an offering right now, and it's more about the company's behaviour than anything else, isn't it?
Yeah,
I think that's one thing that this generation are seeing more is where brands work with content creators. Brands are happy to personify themselves.
Yes.
And show, this is who we are. You look when Panasonic release something, how they go about that, how they communicate. And I really like them as a business. And Canon, if this is a Canon sabotage to another company for making stuff for their cameras, they're quite entitled to do that. It makes good business sense for them to do that. But for the end user, it's not a winning situation for the user, is it?
I've never looked, but I'd be curious to see how much of their business is in glass and how much of it's in bodies with people like Canon and Sony. I'd be willing to bet, like most manufacturers of everything, the accessory part is where they make the money.
Yeah. You look at how they protect their batteries.
Yeah.
If you don't buy an official Canon battery, then your battery meter won't display. So therefore, I could be close to empty. I might have enough. How can you work like that? So it would make sense that this is a similar move. And fair play to them. That's their business. They've got to try and protect as much as their profits as they can.
But like you say, the issue or the risk that they're taking, if it is purposeful, is that people will get turned off.
Yeah, you might buy one camera from them and then find out about these things.
Yeah.
You wouldn't buy another.
Yeah.